And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider as the Washington Commanders pull off a huge upset on Monday Night Football in Cincinnati, winning 38-33. Talking about the keys to the Commanders winning today. And let's start with Jaden Daniels. He's been the rookie quarterback sensation for the Washington Commanders. And this is a guy that I talked about on my podcast about how Washington has perhaps found some stability at the quarterback position. And he has gotten better each and every game out from week one all the way into week three here. And I think that that is going to continue to progress. And one of the things that Jaden Daniels was able to do tonight, well, he had the highest completion percentage, right? And I guess in season history here. So in a single game, he has the highest completion rate, and he has a 91.3% rate on Monday Night Football. He is ahead of Dak Prescott and other quarterbacks as well on that list. And so you get a chance to see just how special Jaden Daniels was tonight. I think that he did a terrific job in staying in the pocket, extending plays, and then making some plays down the field, whether it was finding Austin Eckler, whether it was finding McCaffrey, Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. But key thing is, he has gotten better from week one. I think the first week that clock was a little quick for him, and Jaden Daniels was quick to go ahead and scramble. And, there was a lot of criticism there because it was like, man, is he tucking it? Is he running too early? But I like that because he is basically going out here and he is saying that if there's nothing there, I can at least make a positive play for my team. And I think because he started off that way, you knew he was eventually going to get better as a passer and things were going to start opening up, excuse me. So now it's a better tool for Jaden Daniels because now you're seeing that in this particular game. And I know the Bengals are really struggling defensively this season as they drop to 0-3, but you just see how unguardable now Jaden Daniels is becoming because now, even if you cover up the receivers, he has figured out ways to create running lanes and still make positive plays. And even if it's not a chunk play of 20, 30, 40 yards, whatever, it's still 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. So it is keeping the Washington Commanders offense on schedule. And on top of that, they were 4 of 4 on fourth downs tonight. So you got a chance to really see just how good that Jaden Daniels was in the clutch. He was 9 of 10 in the fourth quarter. When the game was on the line, he made huge plays. And then one of the things that I had talked about as a key was getting Terry McLaurin going. 4 catches, 100 yards. He had some huge plays out there, had a touchdown tonight. And it was interesting because earlier, I think in the second or third quarter, Jaden Daniels had missed him on an open attempt. He went over on the sidelines, let him know he was probably going to come back to him. And when it came down to it, money time, it was one of the better throws of the night where he had dropped it literally on a bucket into Terry McLaurin. And so I love the patience that Terry McLaurin has shown. He has really worked with a lot of quarterbacks. And I have said this before. I think that he is going to really take off at some point with Jaden Daniels. I love everything that he's talked about with just being patient and being the pro's pro and just being there for him when the time came. And so he was fantastic tonight. Luke McCaffrey, I talked about it where he had some receptions tonight, 3 for 44. I think he did a terrific job in really working those zone coverages that Cincinnati kept presenting. I think that they were willing to sit back and see if Jaden Daniels could beat them with the pass, and he was able today. 21 of 23, 254, 11 per attempt. He did take, 2 sacks today, but a 141.7 as far as RTG, and the QBR rating is 93. You're seeing that. But I love what they were able to do too, as far as keeping everything on schedule and a balance. And so we're looking at Brian Robinson. He had one of his lowest yardage, gained since week one of the season. But anyway, even though he had 33 yards today, and you see that Jaden Daniels had 39, Austin Eckler 35, it was still a very good balance on the ground between the three of them. And so one of the things that I talked about was, well, could Brian Robinson Jr. go over, I think, 120 yards? And I thought he could, But I think that, Cincinnati did a great job in really locking in on them. But because of that, I think you see that Jaden Daniels was able to make some plays. Austin Eckler was able to open it up. So I love the fact that Washington is now becoming a little bit more dangerous on the offensive end. And it's funny because they were talking about this before. One of the cornerbacks for Cincinnati had come out and said that, well, actually, it was Cam Taylor Britt, and he said that this was just a high powered college offense. And I think you've seen so much more than that today. So offensively, they did a great job. Now, the defensive end, clearly, we still have some issues with coverage. Jamar Chase, 6 for 118. I think that he had a pretty good day, 2 touchdowns as well. T. Higgins, 3 for 39. I think that Washington did a terrific job in probably keeping him, at bay for the most part. But, they were able to pick up some chunk plays in the secondary. And it wasn't like the Bengals didn't have a good offensive plan. They just couldn't stop the Washington Commanders offense, which, I mean, if you think about it, they had not scored really touchdowns like that. In fact, they had won last week on field goals, and then you see them have this just outburst in points with the 38 points. And so that is something that I think that the Washington Commanders can absolutely win with, even if the defense is not as good as they want it to be right now, because you can still, if you can outscore some teams and make it to where they're going to have to outscore you, you're going to win a lot of games like that. In fact, the Chiefs early on, when Patrick Mahomes was with the Chiefs to start off his career, I think that that's really how the Chiefs were built. It was more towards, we're going to outscore you and then hope that our defense can get enough stops. And so very impressed with the Washington defense, even though they gave up some yardage. And, I think that they did a terrific job in making Joe Burrow uncomfortable at times. I mean, they did get the 2 sacks, and we know that to make Joe Burrow uncomfortable and to make this offense really uncomfortable and off schedule, you had to get some sacks on him. I think that the Washington Commanders did a pretty decent job as far as holding Zach Moss and Chase Brown, even though they do go over 100 combined. I think that it was good that they didn't just let one back kind of get off there. So I think that that was a good thing. And the missed tackles, I think that they cleaned that up as well. So I think that that is huge for the Washington Commanders and what they were able to do there. I don't think that there was as many blown assignments on the defensive end. So that is a positive sign. And I'll say this, look, Washington is now 2-1. And I'm going to pose the question out there. I think the Washington Commanders defense, even though it is flawed, it might be better than the Dallas Cowboys defense right now. I think that Dan Quinn is starting to figure out how he can utilize the players that he has now. He's been calling some players up from the practice squad. And I think the Washington Commanders are going to figure something out. This is certainly a great sign that they are scoring points like this. Let me know. It is Victory Monday for the Commanders. Nobody thought we could do it. We went on the road and got one. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments. This is Washington Commanders Insider. We are going to be getting you ready for week 4 on our next episode. So take care. Peace.